Last time on Technohobo Adventures. Looking to go to Oxford, Alabama. And then after that, we're on to Atlanta. It's been taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would to get across Alabama. Honestly, it's going to take me as long to get to Atlanta at this rate as it did to get, all the way to Birmingham. I found a little nook in the woods that blocks some of the cold wind. The camping pad should come in clutch here. Last night wasn't too bad. Stick my hand outside the tent and I can feel it's just freezing out there. Kind of think I might just stay here today. I don't really want to go hitchhike in this cold. Tonight is supposed to be even colder. On the plus side, I think this camouflage is basically perfect for this these leaves and things. So I just gotta get out there tomorrow, try and get out of here. That's the only way it's gonna get any warmer. Well, I've been out here for like 2-3 hours. Nobody's stopping. At this rate, I feel like I might have to walk to Atlanta. All right, well, I'm kind of sick of Oxford, Alabama right now. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna just walk. Honestly, if I don't get out of there by tomorrow, if I don't catch a ride by tomorrow night, I will the day after that probably walk again, because I'm just so sick of sitting on the highway for like 4 hours. So having finally gotten out of my rut by walking to the new place, I started off my week by trying to be optimistic. All right, well, it's a new day, new week. Last week I made it about 50 miles total. So this week I'm hoping to do a bit better than that. I woke up at a reasonable time today, so I'm going to try and get out there early and catch my first ride in my first real ride in 2 weeks. This is a nice long on-ramp. Unfortunately, it's 2 lanes, which means people who are coming on going in this far lane here are going to have to cross a lane to pull over, which they don't often want to do. But there's plenty of visibility, lots of traffic, so let's see how this goes. Swear to God, these fuckers are the bane of my existence at this point. Got them all over my damn backpack. I just set it down, wasn't looking carefully. But even still, the progress was still very slow, and it started to get to me. Man, this is just depressing. There's so many people coming by, plenty of people who, fit the demographic that would usually pick up a hitchhiker, and just nobody stopping whatsoever. Doesn't matter, sign, no sign. I feel like I could be out here forever. Nobody's gonna stop. But that turned out to be a little premature, as the next thing that happened was I got picked up by a trucker. It's the first time I've ever been picked up by a trucker, to be honest with you. Normally they don't stop on on-ramps, but hey, first time for everything. All right, this man right here just saved me a whole lot of trouble. It took me about 73 miles, I think you said, all the way up to, well, not really to Atlanta, but sort of outskirts. Yes, I had finally gotten a ride. And now it was time to go find a place to sleep. And while I was looking for that, I found something beautiful. Holy crap, man. It's just a freaking magical wonderland right outside the roads here. It's so easy to get into. I kind of doubt I would be the only one in here, but well, you don't know that until you try, huh? Holy crap, man. This place is just cool. I mean, this is only like a few miles away from where I was before. Like I said, like 70 miles. And yet all the plants look totally different. Trees are freaking tall. Wow, this is crazy. To be honest with you, this stuff always looks a little better in person than it does on camera, so I'm sad I can't show you that. Anyway, I slept there. The next day, I was trying to get a bus. Alright, so I didn't sleep amazing last night. And then I woke up and I wanted to charge my phone before I headed out. For some reason that took longer than normal. But now I'm out. It's about 2 o'clock. I found out that there is public transportation that goes all the way from here to the other side of Atlanta. And I would like to do that, but the website's pretty confusing, so I don't know exactly if I can get there today. Well, the place looks pretty freaking empty. I thought I saw a bus earlier that had 40 on it, which is the number of the line that I need. So here's hoping that it's just a empty parking lot, but the buses are running. Yeah, none of the displays are on either. Nobody in the parking lot. It's looking pretty shut down, but I'm going to still wait here until like 2:45 or 3 just to see. Public transportation is basically the only way I can get around a big city like this, so it's a little frustrating when these websites don't work properly. I'll walk you through what it's like using one of these public transportation websites, and this one's actually better than most. So they have a trip planner most of the time where you have to choose your starting point, where if I'm in a new city, I don't know what any of the stops are called or anything like that. This is actually better than most because it allows you to just put in the city and the general direction you're going. So I want to go Douglasville to Decatur, and then it tells me where I can go, but it doesn't have a whole lot of information. Click there and get your itinerary and stuff. And so they usually have that, or they'll have this, which is the just a list of numbers that don't really mean anything to me. 14th Street and Blandtown. I don't know where that is. You know, and there's no indication of what direction it's going or like what part of town it services. Just a bunch of numbers, and you know, you could click through 100 different lines and just see like, okay, is this one? Oh yeah, and when you click it, it doesn't even go to the map view. You have to click another button to go to the map view and say, oh, this line goes north-south on the vaguely the western side of town. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. Let's go to the next one. Number 2, where does that go? Click on this. You know, it'd just take you forever if you were trying to actually figure out what bus you need to get from here. And then if you need any sort of fare information or like anything like that, you know, there's an alerts section here. You don't even usually get something like this. But that's on a whole different page. Like, to get there, you can't even get there from here. You actually have to go back to Google and re-Google the right website, because you just can't get there from here. So that's what it's like using these freaking websites in a city that you're not familiar with. Well, the 40 is extremely late, but the 20 did arrive, and I asked her if the 40 is coming, and she said yes, so I guess it's coming. So if the 40 is extremely late, that makes me wonder if I'm going to miss my connection to the 30, and if I miss my connection to the 30, I'm going to get to the blue line a little bit late, and if I get to the blue line late, is it not going to be running anymore? Because it's Saturday, so they don't run all day. I think they stop at like 5. It should be fine, but it's just like, why do I have to worry about this stuff, man? Anyway, after all that bitching, the website turned out to be just fine. The first bus took me to Six Flags Atlanta, which was awesome. And then the second bus took me to the train station. Turns out there's pretty good train transit in Atlanta. Who knew? There were more sites than this, but this is about all I got. So eventually made it to the other side. Alright, made it through Atlanta. So Atlanta's public transportation system is almost good. You can get from anywhere to anywhere within like a 15-mile radius of the city limits. But all the buses are controlled by like the individual counties and shit. So every little town outside of Atlanta has its own bus system, so you can't transfer between them, which means I ended up paying $250 for the Douglas County bus, $250 for the Cobb County bus, $350 for the train, the Metro rail, and then I would have had to pay $250 for the last bus as well, but that guy was apparently in a hurry and just kind of waved people on, which is awesome. So it would have been $11.50. Instead, I ended up paying $8.50. I don't think that adds up, but whatever. So yeah, that's kind of bullshit, but now I'm here, and here is I don't know what you call this place, but it's like there's like a mall over here. It's right on the interstate, so that's where I'm at now. It's sun's pretty much going down, so I'm gonna find somewhere to sleep. That might be a challenge, and then I will hitchhike in the morning. Once again, looking for a place to sleep, I stumbled upon some pretty interesting nature. Found a big open space, but I don't know if I trust it. There's stuff around. I mean, there's also like a pipe. It might be one of those things where it's like fine, but then people do come up here frequently enough. It's all just rock, which is kind of cool. I'm just taking a look. Well, I got some pretty cool pictures out of this area at the very least. Follow me on Instagram for the sort of nature pictures and all that kind of stuff. Occasionally I'll post pictures of my stealth camping setup and all that. Go check it out. It's pretty good stuff. That's probably the second most active platform that I have. Also, while I'm mentioning it, join the Patreon. That is long-term how I'm looking to make a living out of this. And so if you like what I'm doing and you have $5 to give, go check it out. Anyway, I think I'll set up in this little corner here. I'm pretty far away from the road and pretty far away from the nearest building. There's some stuff like through the woods that way that I can barely see, but I don't think it should be an issue, especially if I stay in the field and not in the woods. I feel like that's kind of important. Alright, well, it's Sunday. It's 3 o'clock already, and I am a little skeptical about this area, to be honest. I don't know if I'll be able to get a ride here, so I'm just gonna keep walking. I also just don't feel like sitting on the highway. It's not fun, to be honest with you. It's great that that I can get around for free, but it's just not a whole lot of fun to sit on the side of the highway. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just walk for a little bit up the interstate and see if there's any better spots up there. And yeah, I tell you what, after going through Mississippi and Alabama, one thing I really appreciate about Georgia is the sidewalks. Look at these sidewalks, it's so beautiful. Spoke too soon about the sidewalks. Oh well. For some reason in my mind, I've never associated Georgia with having a lot of rocks, but it's got a lot of rocks. I can imagine that if you grew up in Georgia or many other states that have forests like this, you would begin to take them for granted. But let me tell you, as someone who is from a state that has no forests and almost no nature to speak of left, this is beautiful. Go out into the forests sometime. Oh man, you know, these long walks, it always starts out, you get real confident. You get to the halfway point, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then it's like the last couple miles is the worst. I got to an intersection with the interstate, but there's another one that's like just a mile down the road that's better. It's got more stuff around it. And yeah, that last mile seems pretty ridiculous right now. In fact, that last mile was so ridiculous that by the time I got there, I didn't feel like filming anything. So here's the next morning. So here's where I slept last night. Despite being absolutely disgusting, I did have the best sleep I've had in a long time. And I guess I just put that down to how tired I was after walking yesterday. But yeah, time to move on. Well, that's it for today's video. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course support the Patreon. Yeah, can't do this without the Patreon, so thank you for supporting that, and I'll see you in the next one.